apparently have sound up somewhere. Okay. That's the... I was gonna say, I had the premiere on this one and then live on this one. Hi, Susan. This is going to sound really strange, but do I happen to know you from in person when I lived in Tennessee? Because I don't know that I know a Susan Williams from YouTube. Okay, hi, Roy and Becky. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you have made it back. And weekend RVing. I am going to assume you are Millie, unless you let me know that James is there too. Hi, Shar. Hi, Susan, Stan. Bogalusa, Louisiana. Interesting. I have an uncle that lives in Opelousas, Louisiana. Hi, Ray. Okay, I figured it was probably Millie because I figured it was probably about time that James was at work, so. So I did not get banners done. But a couple weeks ago, I asked you guys to keep me accountable on reintroducing water. For those of you that are new or didn't make it to that live stream, I do have health issues and I react to lots of things. And hives is a major one, also itching. And I had actually quit drinking water completely. Just because, well, when you drink something and it gives you hives on a regular basis, you just don't want to do it anymore. So, in an effort to cut down on milk consumption and reintroduce water, I have started drinking water. Actually, this is a pint jar. And so what I do in the mornings, I will get my glass for the day and I will fill it with water. And then I take, I take medicine twice in the morning. And I say medicine, it is all herbs and supplements. So I'll take my slippery elm the first time I get up with the cats, and then I take the rest of my stuff when I get up and give Pinga her shot. Yes, I do. I think it's distilled water that's also run through reverse osmosis that I get at the local grocery store. I cannot do the water from the faucet. Hi, Justin and Christina. So the water we have here, and I'm looking at my kitchen sink. I don't know why, y'all. No, the milk was over my lap, not over the keyboard. No worries. I will be safe with the milk, and I'll drink it and put it back down. So anyways, I had asked you guys to keep me accountable for reintroducing water. So what I did was I started, I don't know if I had done it the day I talked to you guys about it. I did definitely, since the next day, I have each day drunk at least one of these glasses of water. Sometimes a little more if I'm using a 1.5 pint jar that day. It took about 4 or 5 days before I quit breaking out in hives, which luckily, so the second group of supplements I take has moringa in it, which is a mast cell stabilizer. So it's not like the hives were horrible or anything. I'd usually just break out here on my arm. Which is usually my, it's the first place I always break out. This arm, up here, and then this wrist down here. So anyway, it took about 4 or 5 days, and I quit breaking out in hives, and then it went to just itching, and now that has stopped. So I think for the next week or so, I'm going to try and do 2 glasses. I'll probably alternate and do the 1 thing of water in the morning and then have a glass of milk and then go back to water. So anyway, that is my water update. And then I was going to say, I had something else I wanted to talk to you guys about before I got into... Oh, no. Okay. So anyway, you guys just watched my garden tour and list of things to do. Millie, that is awesome. Most people are like, you're taking what? Oh, wow, Shar, that's interesting. At this point, I can't really handle any chemicals. So the moringa that I get from As Your Standard, but it's available, actually quite a few health food stores carry it now. I know Vitacost carries it. I get, Shar, I'm not sure if you've watched my other videos, but I do capsulate most of my own supplements. So like I have these things that I actually make the capsule, so I just order the powders. Things I am thinking about with moringa. So at this point, the moringa I take, I take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what size of capsules I was using there. I think it's probably about 1,400 milligrams. Oh, that is cool. I gathered enough that I couldn't grow it in my current area. That it was more tropical than that. But honestly, I don't even know what like parts they use to make the powder. I think it's actually the leaves. All right, so hi Valerie. Is it Valeria or Valerie? Sorry, the blue hearts catch my attention and they actually show up on StreamYard now. So I get my moringa from As Your Standard. They have opened up to the northeast now. They've got drops up there that have just been getting started in the last couple of months. But it is available elsewhere. One interesting thing I have found with the moringa is it's also good for reducing blood sugar, which is playing into, I'm starting to work on the PCOS stuff that I've gotten the MCAS under control, those symptoms, and now I'm going to start working on the PCOS stuff. So, they have an entire website for moringa. That's pretty cool. Hi, Solex. So I was going to say, I'd love to hear if any of you guys have garden plans. I know we've got a lot of RV van lifers, but if you grow things in your RV or anywhere else, awesome, Millie. I need to do laundry later. That's another update I can give you guys. So I did a video last fall, right after I had gotten my Cup-It washing machine. And the dryer died last week, like the spin dryer. So I actually have another washing machine coming on Thursday. I should probably do an update or put something in the description of that, because I don't think 5 or 6 months is really In my opinion, that's not great. Hi, Daryl. But yeah, so I would love to know if people have found ways to grow things while they're on the road. And that sort of thing. If you have gardening space, if you're stationary, I'd love to. I would love to know about that too. It sounds like you're just going to have to go up to Canada for a while. I hear it's all legal there. Sorry, Charlie's making noise. So yeah, I bought a whole bunch of new seeds. I've never successfully grown brassicas. Yeah, right. I still need help with broccoli sprouts. I should probably start another. I found my lid, and I know where those seeds are. I went to start some mung bean sprouts a week or so ago for some stuff that we were making. No, they're just missing. It's like I'm pretty sure I did not declutter such things, but I can't find them. So anyway, I should try some broccoli sprouts, and I also have all that radish seed, so I should start some of those as well, just to play with it before it gets too hot. Char has wild blackberries, hickory nuts, acorns, greens, plums that grow from late spring to autumn. And she just adds plant food for them to grow and water at the right times of day. Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of weird. Some things don't mind being moved, some things do. But if they're growing in certain conditions on their own, I find it's probably best to let them be. It's kind of like one of the things that I don't know if I mentioned in the final voiceover. That section between the air conditioner and the back door, and actually underneath the back steps has... All right. That was weird. It's on Do Not Disturb, and yet it's disturbing me. It has poison sumac that has decided it's going to show up, which I'm not allergic to poison ivy. I don't know if I'm allergic to poison oak, but I am definitely allergic to poison sumac. And then... So I wound up with that last year. And then I also wound up with this orange flower growing in and around the back steps that I also didn't plant. And come to find out, oddly enough, once I was able to get it identified, it is actually a natural... remedy for poison sumac. Daryl, not a problem at all. Thanks for being here, even if you are working and listening. I do that a lot. Tomatoes in pots. I was going to say, and you guys are in Oklahoma now, right? Which I want to guess is out of the desert. (9.5 miles is a lot of walking, Ray. So, Susan, the problem I have with removing it, I was able to identify what was on the back steps, but because of the way the steps are built, I can't physically get to the base of it. So I can remove what I can get to, but it keeps coming back. And then I saw the top of it. I've got a lot of stuff in this bed that I would like to just have it go away. There's like Oriental honeysuckle, and I keep just cutting it off. It is an invasive. I did not plant it. It basically, so okay, you guys know how invasive hostas can be when they get going. They like shade out everything. Yeah, no. This Oriental honeysuckle stuff is a bear. I'm chemically sensitive. So unfortunately, I can't really have the weed killer around. I'm really concerned that I'm even going to be able to do the BT for the Oriental moth and cabbage moth issues that I'm having. Hi, Camille. So I'm hoping. I should probably have my daughter just take a spray bottle of vinegar out there, because I don't really necessarily want anything growing on the steps. So she could get on like the far spray function of our spray bottles. She could probably get to that once it's going. 30% white vinegar. I don't have a still. Where do you find 30% white vinegar? What you buy at the store is normally either 4 or 6%. Hi, Paula. Sure, I'm not sure I understand. Cleaning vinegar is 6%. The regular vinegar that you would use is 4. The other thing with that is being under the deck, or like the back step deck area, I'm not sure, because a lot of times the vinegar helps because it burns in the sun and it's dark. So this honeysuckle is not normal honeysuckle. It does not have the same flowers. It basically, it just invades everything. I don't have any Everclear. I could spray gin on it. That would work. Don't you love how that happens, Shar? Sorry, I didn't drop this for you guys. Okay, so I will check hardware stores for, and you know, the one time I didn't bring my notepad and stuff out here. I've got stuff to write down. All right, so I will look for 30% on the vinegar, because I have tried vinegar in the past and it didn't work well. But my son and I are both highly allergic to the sumac. Incidentally, in case anyone runs into this issue and is not aware, the best thing we have found, now keep in mind, the first time I had poison sumac, I did not do this. I wound up with poison sumac on 80% of my body. And landed myself in the ER with a panic attack when I had gone to urgent care, and they gave me prednisone cream as well as oral prednisone, and I landed myself in the hospital with a panic attack. So obviously that's not a good option for me. But what we have found that works is high doses of vitamin C if we know we've been exposed. It will knock it out. Even if we have we try and just go ahead and take regular doses of vitamin C. If we, okay, I don't know how to pronounce the first part of that. I'll just call you Ocean Fire. But anyway, if we know we're going to be exposed to it, we typically just take an extra dose of vitamin C, and then if we are actually starting to break out from it, we will take usually a double dose and then do double doses for about 36 hours. And at that point, it's usually dried up and just about gone. Which is actually how I was using rubber gloves and vitamin C last year to not wind up with it too bad when I was pulling that out. All right. So I was going to say some things that I got for the garden, and I'm kind of like, I'm still in that thing where I'm looking around going, what do I want to plant where? Because I've got way too much stuff to plant in the spaces I've got available that are already made into beds. I don't carry an EpiPen. I actually react to pharmaceutical medications just as much or more so than I do everything else. I'm sure if I was having major issues, they would probably give me one anyways. I typically, if I'm having issues, I typically do the vitamin C and then add in some mast cell stabilizers until I kind of stabilize. And there goes Charlie. We don't want to look at your butt. Yeah, so I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I'm now finding out that I have over the years had MCAS symptoms, which is mast cell activation syndrome. Dude, you don't need the pan. So anyway, and then I also have some hormone issues that I'm just now starting to get into, but I've pretty much got the MCAS stuff under control. So anyway, that's kind of the direction I typically take. I am allergic to anxiety medication. Like when I went to the allergist, that's the one thing that she saw out of all my sensitivities that is an actual allergic reaction, because that swelled my tongue up and clamped my jaw shut. And like when I say clamped my jaw shut, it was enough that it broke a tooth. Luckily I was in the ER when they gave it to me. So it only took them a half an hour to get me Benadryl. So anywho, last year And if you guys are interested in herbs and things, I'm probably going to start working on an herb journal and going more in depth into not only what I actually use on a day-to-day basis. I do have videos that go into my supplements and stuff, but then I would like to kind of do more in depth so I have a reference to look back at on like things like interactions, different properties, and also learn about some of the things like, for instance, moringa is the mast cell stabilizer I normally take, but the one that I originally started on was lemon balm. If you made my premiere today, you realized that I have lemon balm growing in my backyard. So I'd like to be able to like have this journal and look up, you know, what are the interactions? What are the growing patterns? What information do I need to know if I want to harvest it, and then use it? I've been following North Star Prepstetter, and she has been, over the course of the last year or two, doing some information, and it's like, it's great when we go to those lives and learn that stuff, but then how much of it sticks with me? Not a ton. And I'm a firm believer that if it has the power to heal, it also has the power to harm. So I really need to be able to make informed choices when I'm trying to look at what I'm taking and that kind of thing. Because at least so far, I've not been able to find an ongoing functional medicine doctor or naturopath that works well. So I'd like to kind of do an herb journal type thing. And I don't know, that's one of those things, maybe I would do videos on that. Would that be something you would be interested in? I've already had the suggestion to do videos on like how to actually physically like harvest and use them. And I think I'll definitely do that, but I didn't know if like, because what I'm kind of picturing would be almost like an art journal, but like one page for each herb. So I didn't know if that would be something that would be of interest to you guys or not. I don't know. It seems a whole lot more fun than a talking head video about lectins or oxalates, which I still owe you guys a video on oxalates, but... And Miss Paula from FanVita is going to spam us with yes. Okay, Ocean. Hello. We are I did my first garden tour of the year for my premiere today, so we're kind of talking about gardening and herbs and things, and I think I'm going to start doing an herb journal with the stuff I'm growing and taking and all that. So my question was, would that be something you guys would be interested in seeing? I was going to say, and I missed your live last night, Robertson's Belly Acres. I am sorry. Monday nights are really, really hectic in the lives. I've noticed that. Okay. I was gonna say I'll have to play around with that and see. See what I come up with. I've got a couple ideas on how I want it to look. Just so it's kind of so it's more interactive. So I was gonna say, so Paula and I were talking earlier. Yeah, I haven't. It's one of those things. It's like I see people doing the art journals and they look fun, but it's like I don't know if I'm journaling, I want to be able to just read what I was journaling. So Paula and I were talking earlier about like doing some cooking videos on things like dandelion and various things that we can actually get our hands on that people might not know how to use. So the journals will probably be on Tuesdays, but then I'll probably and see that's one of those we were trying to figure out how to work that in. I might try doing more of the like how to fix or use things as Friday content with my cooking. They're not really cooking classes. It's Foodie Friday. But that will probably be a little while because even the stuff I can forage out of my own yard, most things in this area are sprayed. Like even out by the road, I can't count on things not being sprayed because the park will come around and even spray into my driveway. No Ray, no Frito pie. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out a way to pressure cook Frito corn chips. So anyway, it will take me a little bit because I need stuff to actually come up and I don't have dandelions up yet. But that will probably be my first one. And then I also have purslane that grows here. And then it's not really a food, but I do have plantain that grows in the yard, and I think it would be cool to make some salves out of that. Yes, Fritos are corn chips. So anyway, no Frito pie. I am actually, one of the things I have sort of been really excited about here lately, I am working towards single ingredient foods for my shopping. Obviously not completely. My kids are teenagers and they have not grown up this way, so all right, Daryl, you have definitely got selective hearing if all you heard was chips. Chips would be good, but I don't know. My substitute for chips lately has been radish slices. They've got the crunch, and I add salt to them. But, so I'm kind of trying to work towards healthier snacks because I had noticed my son has a tendency to snack on crackers. They will get me to get chips as much as I possibly will allow and tons of ice cream. Yes, my kids are addicted to ice cream just as much as me. So those of you that know I have an ice cream addiction, yeah. I'm still not getting ice cream. It's just not going to happen. Hi, Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Eggplant chips sounds good to me. I would be in bed for 2 days if I ate that, though. Eggplant was the original sensitivity issue that I found. And over 40% of people with Ehlers-Danlos are sensitive to eggplant. And it doesn't seem to be something we can just pressurize and get rid of. Although I haven't tried it in the pressure cooker. I have read reviews from other people that have tried, though. Yeah, so thinking about dandelions, I have used them in salads before. I'd kind of like to try and dig one up, and there is actually a blend of tea type things that you can use to make a fake coffee. Hi, Bree. You've got to share the chips with DJ. Oh, wait, or maybe it was Daryl. Have a good day at work, Robertsons. I was going to say, and for whatever reason, I am blanking your names. I know that they both start with R, I do believe. Yeah, so it seems to be inevitable that if I like it, I become sensitive to it. Mom used to fix fried eggplant, and I absolutely loved that. So it was sort of one of those things that when my brother sent me the article with the link to the Ehlers-Danlos, it was like, well, that sucks. But he had been surprised that I had still been eating it because he had quit eating it. I hadn't put 2 and 2 together that that's what made me feel bad. So that's one of those. Some of those interactions, it's like, I've gotten most of the nightshades back. I really missed tomatoes and potatoes, which granted, the potatoes aren't great as far as carbs go, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm saying it looks like Ray likes dandelion salad. So my issue with making chips out of potatoes, I need to pressurize them before I fry them. And if I pressurize them, they cook. So then it's, I suppose if I was to somehow do the thin slices before and then, I don't know. What I'm picturing is like a rubber band holding the potato together, and that's probably not a good thing to have on my food while I'm pressure cooking it. Yeah, I was going to say, and I actually went for almost a year where the only... Was it almost a year? I think it was almost a year that I had cut out the tomatoes and the potatoes, because I started that fall of 19. I never completely got rid of pizza. I couldn't. It's like I'd go for a good month and a half, and then I'd just be craving it so much that I had to. So, like, I'd found Aldi's they are actually up to 2 or 3 different kinds of cauliflower-based pizza crust pizzas. So I could typically get a cauliflower crust pizza. I think it's 10 inches for $7.49, or maybe 6 inches for $5.49. And I just get the cheese variety and put turkey pepperoni on it. Or just eat it as cheese pizza. And for any of you guys that might be going Pineapple Lives Matter, I do like pineapple on my pizza, but pineapple is also high histamine. So what happened was, when I had cut out most everything, I still had something. It was pretty obvious that certain things would still make me itch. I have seen recipes for gluten-free sourdough crust. I haven't tried making it, though. Sorry, Daryl. What can I say? Pizza and chips is more fun than work. Pizza lives do matter. Yeah, Ocean. Pineapple is high histamine. Actually, a lot of the high acid foods are high histamine. Typically, things like tomatoes are listed as high histamine. But what I have found is that if I pressure cook tomatoes, it kills off the lectins, which at that point stops a reaction when you are digesting it, where it will, hi Troy. Sorry, Ray, it's only 7 minutes. So if you kill off the lectins in the tomatoes by pressure cooking them, and most of them are in the seeds and the skin, so at that point, I don't have nearly as much reaction, and they don't make me itch nearly as much, because when I'm digesting them, the lectins aren't there to kind of tear holes in my intestinal lining. And if they're not doing that, then stuff is not getting into the bloodstream and causing my mast cells to go crazy. Hi, Lucretia. Thanks for stopping in. Troy, I am so sorry to hear that you've been having issues. Are you on the mend? I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you have not had the virus. If it makes you feel any better, Ray, at this point, I have had a hard-boiled egg. And half a glass of milk. Number one, do we have Gypsy or the Vanilla Gorilla? And then what wouldn't I do any other way? All right, so DJ, you bring up a very valid point. Daryl does drive around a lot. Is he planning on going live? I haven't been on a drive stream in a few days. Yeah, and so oddly enough, tomatoes are in the nightshade family, which includes eggplants, peppers, tomatillos, potatoes, and typically those are like all grouped as a problem due to something called solanine. But if I kill off the lectins in them, it doesn't seem to be an issue anymore, even though the solanine is. And I sort of started playing with that because solanine is also in things like blueberries, and I don't react to blueberries. No more pan pizza. All right, so I grew up on probably a combination of like the Jack's style pizzas, where it's more like a cracker crust, and Little Caesars. And Little Caesars in Tennessee is not the same as Little Caesars in Indiana, in case anybody's wondering. In Tennessee, the Little Caesars pizza is awesome. I don't really remember the pizza all that much as being that different. The difference is in the breadsticks. Down there, you had these nice fluffy breadsticks, and then they were like smothered in butter and Parmesan on top. Up here, Little Caesars breadsticks are just dry bread. Not satisfying at all. So, degenerated bones in your neck is not fun, Troy. My grandma actually has that issue and has had to wear a neck brace on and off over the years. So hopefully, are they trying to find something to do to help on a more permanent basis with that? Maybe that's something I could do this summer. Because I do know that I have seen gluten-free sourdough crust, or not crust, gluten-free sourdough starters. And I do have plenty of flour around. So that would be another idea I could do. Because like we had gotten in a habit, we were doing pizza on a regular basis, but we were doing homemade pizza back before I went gluten-free. And all three of us love pizza. And no, I don't know if the kids like pineapple on their pizza. I do know that 2 of us got sick on pineapple on pizza from Pizza Hut one time. That stopped me with pineapple on pizza for about probably 2 or 3 years. All right. Do you guys have a video on the sourdough crust and making pizzas with it by chance? Troy, that is a lot to deal with. You worked at I worked at a Noble Romans. So when the day before my 16th birthday, I started working at the local grocery store. And I'd been there probably about a year running a cash register, and they decided to put a Noble Romans back in the deli. And I didn't like the front end manager. She was hard to work with and didn't know what she was doing. So, like, my friends and I that were working up front, we all volunteered to go to the back. And then I worked at the Little Caesars for probably another probably about 2 years, 3 months. before I finally walked out. I don't know a whole lot about gout. That would be interesting to learn about. I know it's fairly common. Definitely important, especially if you're going to be working together and living together. So the Little Caesars that we had growing up in Tennessee was fairly consistent no matter who was working or what day of the week it was. I didn't really pay attention to that as much, but I suppose we were usually there after Taekwondo. We would either pick up pizza or stop at Arby's for supper. That is probably a good idea. I know with Grandma, it just helps keep everything from compacting so much. So it's just as the bones deteriorate, it has helped keep if she's having problems with pain. She kind of goes back and forth. Sometimes it's hard for her to hear with it on. Yeah, and it's like, see, that's just it. I love the breadsticks, and I can't have the Parmesan now, but even breadsticks with homemade garlic butter on them and nice and melty, that would be awesome. You guys are not right. So Daryl, for me, the gluten-free wheat contains lectins, and lectins is definitely a problem for me. And even with a pressurized cooking period, it does not kill off the lectins in wheat. So I suppose what a lot of people would hear that as if they were hearing it from a doctor would be non-celiac's gluten sensitivity or wheat sensitivity. And besides that, unless you're getting organic wheat, it is usually heavily sprayed before harvest. So if you're chemically sensitive, it's not great either. Good luck on the eBay auction, Troy. Hopefully you get whatever it is you are wanting. Or that you get a good price if you're selling something. I don't have a forge. My son, I'm sure, would like one. He would love to learn how to blacksmith. I'm not sure what depends on the heat levels. Oh, maybe that was to Troy. No, it just jumped, and so I just missed a bunch of stuff. Hang on. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, so Troy got sick from strawberries as a kid, but ate the entire flat. You know, an entire flat of strawberries is a bit much. Just a bit. I like hanging out on YouTube with my friends. I do that a lot these days. Definitely understand that, Troy. I am definitely, and that's one reason I would like to get sort of ahead of my production schedule so that I can, if I have issues, I already have a premiere ready to go up and I don't have to worry about it. So, you know, it is what it is. Although when I was having issues with the blisters in my mouth, the silent videos actually kind of did pretty well. All right, so how to make the sourdough starter, then just use the sourdough starter instead of yeast and let rest in a warm place. Doesn't rise much. Cook as hot as your cooker will go, 500 plus for 10 minutes. Looks like 525 is about the hottest on my oven. And it would definitely be gluten-free. So I seem to react, like I reacted to brown rice quinoa pasta the other day. Now granted, I didn't pressurize it and it was brown rice. So the lectins are in the bran. So that may have been my issue there. I've heard people make pizza in their pressure cookers and I don't understand. All right, so I'm assuming, Troy, this is what you're talking about when I asked about gout. I don't know a whole lot about it. In a way, the crystals in the joint sounds a lot like when people refer to oxalates. You know, that thing that I haven't done the research for to do a video because, you know, I only promised it like 5 months ago. Yes. Okay. Hi, Lance. And you're on your other account. Strawberries are also high histamine. So, like, I would have, quite frankly, if I had eaten even a pint of strawberries, my tongue would feel like it was bleeding. 20 or 24-foot enclosed trailer. Well, nice to meet you, Ocean. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, any kind of trailer seems to be hard to come by these days, Troy. Who am I supposed to be 6 feet away from? Because the only people in the house are the cats. All right, welcome back, Boondocking with Boomer. And it jumped again. Yeah, so the blisters in my mouth, I had not been able to get my normal summer dosage of vitamin C last summer, so I was taking a mix with vitamin A. And one reason I highly recommend everybody studies what they're taking. Vitamin D helps absorb vitamin A, which is why it was a mix of vitamin A and vitamin D to begin with. So I went and it was 10,000 IUs of vitamin A and like 1,000 or 2,000 of vitamin D. And when I switched from my summer dosage, when that ran out, to my normal winter dosage of vitamin D, which is 5,000 IU a day, my body just kind of went, oh, we got to absorb all this vitamin A, and then I had too much of it. And as I found out, too much vitamin A will cause blisters in your mouth. It took about a week for them to heal. But oddly enough, I was in at the oral surgeon 2.5 weeks later. He did not say anything about any of it. So it was apparently healed enough he couldn't really tell. All right, you guys are seriously making me hungry for pizza. Good point, Char. Strawberries are heavily sprayed. And I know that the seeds on the outsides of strawberries are often problem if people have various kinds of colon issues. Pancakes and pizza. All right, Ray, if you've got sun, can you send some of it up here? Because I don't. It's very cloudy here, and I don't really want more snow or freezing rain or any of that stuff. Yeah, pineapple and oranges both make me feel like my mouth is bleeding from the histamine. So I will occasionally eat pineapple, but not very often. DJ, yes, lots of pizza conversation that somehow stemmed from a chips conversation. Hi, Dana. Very nice. And like I said earlier, the only thing that the allergist says I'm allergic to is anxiety medication. So even like when she heard my responses to like the poison sumac and stuff, I'm sensitive to it, but I'm not allergic to it. Even though, I break out like there's no tomorrow. And for years, I didn't even know what poison sumac looked like because I'd never seen it. I always caught it from my son. That would be nice, Char. Like, so 2 oranges before your tongue gets sore. I'm typically feeling that from oranges after about 2 slices. So my daughter has gotten into bread making some this year. She's in a cooking class, but she's schooling virtually. And so she's not tied into cooking what they are cooking at school. She just has to take pictures of the things she cooks to turn them in. And there's a few things that the teacher has specifically wanted something similar. So like they did, I don't know, I think they did chicken nuggets or something, like cutting up chicken and breading it. She wanted them to get the system of breading something. So she breaded and deep fried okra for that one. She definitely wanted them to be able to do pasta. At school they did spaghetti, and I'm not even sure they did like homemade spaghetti sauce type of situation, which isn't that complicated. Obviously it's better if you let it cook for a while, but like I can do a 10-minute spaghetti sauce before I was using the Instant Pot. And I think she had them use like store-bought spaghetti sauce. But anyway, she wanted them to learn how to make pasta. So she did a beef lo mein with some skirt steak I had gotten. Watermelon. Yeah. Most people don't eat watermelon seeds. At least not very often. So she's kind of, we've made pad thai for several years. I don't know why I'm looking over. It's the refrigerator. That's where the refrigerator is. I guess I should say refrigerators. I have too many fridges. So, Dana, did we get a response on the wound care update? Snowmen. Troy, we don't want snowmen. We want spring. I'll definitely check it out. She actually, one of the first things she made for this class was bread. And she made regular bread. Instacart can be a little finicky at times, and I think I just wound up with somebody that was just kind of passive aggressive. They brought me the gluten-free pizza I wanted, and they stuck the bag of non-gluten-free flour in the same bag. But so we had flour in the house, and so she did make regular bread. And has said she would like to learn how to make gluten-free bread, which I do have a good recipe for. But it would be nice to try the... Okay, that was a little weird. Somebody just walked past my window. I'm going to hope they were on the other lot. And I completely spaced what I was talking about. Sorry. Troy, weren't you moving? Hi, Johnny. Because, yeah, neighbors riding property lines would definitely creep me out as well. I don't keep bodies in the fridges. Close my eyes and pick a fridge. What am I picking a fridge for? Hi, Dan. Because here's my thing with the fridges. I have too many fridges. Basically because I wanted counter space right there, and I didn't have it with the big fridge. So like the left one typically has all of our milk in it, except the one that we're currently drinking out of. And so like the system I kind of have, I will typically try to move everything I can from the left one to the right one right before I get groceries and clean the left one. And then the new stuff goes into the left one, and we basically eat out of the right one. Yeah, I was going to say, I I have a quarter of a cow in the freezer. And then I have another quarter of a cow in another freezer at my uncle's house. Oh, if it's your sister's house, is he maybe just not aware that you belong there? The pizza has to have pineapple on it. I say that, and I would typically eat pineapple and ham pizza, and the pork is just not good for me these days. So that's an idea. How? Oh, well, make sure you have good fences. And call the cops if they come on your property. Yes, pineapple lives definitely matter. All right, it is 3:25. If anybody would like to come up, I will drop this again. Hi, James. Otherwise, I'll probably end this in about 5 minutes. So we can all get our afternoons going. I think it's afternoon for everybody at this point. Now that I'm craving pizzas and don't have any of the stuff to make them right now. And I don't have frozen ones. Thanks, guys. I was going to say, and I have a whole list of things that I need to work on. Like I forgot to fix Paula's drop-down thing. Hi, hi, Paula. Hi, Bob. Did you call the cops? Easement from power lines and stuff have to remain open. You were going to ask about that? So what would you like to know, Ray? What would you like to know? It's fairly boring to look at, because it's just all packages of white paper. So, Troy, I don't know your area or anything, but easements and right-of-ways have to be given access. So, I believe you would be perfectly fine to call the cops and they would allow you access. Whether they make him come out and move it or if they just take it down. At least that's the way things are around here. All right, so, but is your shop on the easement or right away for the power company? Because around here, those can't, like, you can fence your area. You have to allow access to the power company. But if you also have right-of-way rights to that, they would have to allow you the key to the gate and access through that gate whenever you want. All right, the price of a quarter, I paid $2 per pound plus processing. What it worked out to be for a half was, hold that thought. I'll just look it up because I don't remember. All right, so I paid $226.50 for processing and $940 for the beef, but that's for a half. When my uncles went to schedule again for late summer or fall, they got a January date. So the 2 animals that I had scheduled had not completely been claimed with other people in the family. So they asked if I wanted to get another quarter and just keep it in their freezer for the summer. Yeah, that's a good question. So, Bob, I saw that you were live like late at night one night. Do you have a set live time at this point? Because you are not currently on my live schedule. And if anybody is interested in my live schedule, the link is in, I believe, all of my descriptions. And that was another thing I'm going to add the live schedule to my About page as well. I can understand not wanting to go to court. All right, Ray. Actually, Ray, can you do me a favor? Because that can vary. I would have to check store-bought prices. I could definitely do a video on the benefits and stuff and why I went that way. But can you send me a text with the questions that you've got? All right, so James has heard the same things I have as far as the power roads and things. I think the point being, Troy, there are remedies that you can do, but if you don't want to do them, then there's not really a way around that. All right, Bob, I have a random tab, so I'll definitely put you there. And I'll try and watch to see what you standardize on as far as Saturday mornings go. Traveling Mike, that's what my live schedule is. And if one of my mods could drop the link for that, you are welcome to do so. Hi, Georgie. Yeah, the live schedule, I have tried to, and there goes the pencil. Check out the different tabs at the bottom. You're probably seeing the Raid Parade schedule, which happens at 2 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. And those are premieres. The live schedule is on different tabs. I've got it broken out on different tabs for days of the week, as well as a random tab for people that don't have a set schedule. Georgie, I believe you are already on the schedule there. So anyway, I miss Pinga. She's like, Mom, you're talking to people and not feeding me. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to make it well organized. And so that I could, I wanted to be able to reference it on a regular basis and add to it. So that's what I have come up with as far as that goes. All right. I am going to go ahead and end this since I don't have anybody to raid at 4 o'clock either. And I have cats that are saying, I want food! So, Georgie, shoot me an email and I will get it added. Same thing, Mike. As far as that goes, if you have a set time, just shoot me an email. My email address is goinggreenmom@gmail.com. Also, if anybody is interested in joining the Raid Parade, thanks for coming by, James and Troy. It has been a very interesting conversation, and you guys have all made me hungry with talk of chips and pizza and everything. If you would like to join the Raid Parade, the RSVP link is on my About page or in my descriptions of any of my videos. If one of my mods would like to drop the video link for the premiere I just did before the live, that would be awesome. That way, if people want to drop back and check that out, that would be amazing. But yeah, if you want to join the Raid Parade, that is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe that goes to 11 a.m. Pacific on Fridays. Videos generally need to... All right, Ray, you are not allergic to making videos. Anywho, typically those videos, a good time frame is between 2 and 15 minutes. If you would like to be in the Raid Parade, just grab the form link or shoot me an email if you have questions. I also have a Raid Parade Tech playlist if you want to understand more about that scheduling. All right. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Troy, for dropping that link. And thanks everybody for coming.